My name is Cherie Wachter, and I'm the Director of Marketing here at the Humane Society of Broward County. I've been here for 14 years, and prior to coming to work here at the Humane Society of Broward County, I worked for a national animal welfare organization, the Humane Society of the United States. I've always had animals in my life, and I never really thought that I would have a career helping animals. I grew up, across the street was the animal shelter in Pennsylvania, and I used to go every weekend and beg my mother for another pet, and every weekend she'd say no. We always had dogs and cats, and I enjoy my work tremendously. I know that I am making a difference for the homeless animals here in our community. The Humane Society of Broward County, we were founded in 1944, so we have been in Broward County for a very long time. We are a nonprofit organization, which means that our funding, we rely on people and companies in our community for our funding, and our budget is more than $5.5 million a year. We have more than 500 volunteers that help us here at the shelter, and we have approximately 100 employees.
I'm Mary Stephan. I'm the medical director here at the Humane Society of Broward County. I'm in charge of all of our clinic services and our outside programs. So anything medically related to the animals that come into the building or outside spay-neuter programs. I became a part of this organization about 8 years ago, kind of by mistake. I came here to volunteer. We had just moved to Florida. And I was looking for something to do to kind of fill my time, and I started as a volunteer and then was hired. And it's been a great experience. I mean, I can't imagine being involved with a better organization that impacts more people and animals in our community. It's really just been a blessing.
My name is Rosie Colon. I've been working at the Humane Society for 4 years. I'm an adoptions counselor, and I show people different animals that they're interested in adopting. I do screen them to make sure they're responsible pet owners. I educate them about the animals they're looking at. I work in receiving. I watch people turn in the animals, and then I watch them get adopted and go to great homes.
My name is Royo, and I was born and raised here in Miami, Florida. And I've been working here, volunteering at the Pet Boutique at the Humane Society for about 2.5 years. Here at the Pet Boutique, I sell items to all the people that come in: dog food, cat food, leashes, collars, any kind of item they could use for their pets here that they adopt.
It's very sad to see animals come to the Humane Society of Broward County. We're open 7 days a week, so every single day people are dropping off their pets because they don't want them anymore. The majority of pets that we have are surrendered by their owners. They turn them in for every reason under the sun, whether someone in the family is allergic, their pet had an unplanned litter, they're moving and can't take their pet along. But I think for me the hardest part is when you see an animal that comes to the Humane Society because its owner passed away and no one else in the family is willing to take in that pet. These are animals you can tell they've been well loved, well taken care of, and for no fault of their own, they're here at the shelter, and hopefully they're going to find another family that's going to love them.
What I see when I look into an animal's eyes is usually just complete acceptance, happiness. I am amazed every day at the circumstances that bring animals here and how open and accepting of their circumstance, the people that are interacting with them, and the opportunity for a new home. I mean, there's no way a human being would be as resilient as these animals as far as just being open and allowing the process to take place and hopefully end up in a home forever. So it's an extremely stressful situation for the animals, but they usually look at us with just trusting, open eyes like, okay, what next?
When I look into an animal's eyes, I just see this inner beauty about animals. They're just wonderful creatures. I just feel like I should help all these animals. They need our help to, give them homes, and just totally encourage people to adopt animals and not to shop for animals, that we have so many homeless animals.
I think probably one of the saddest cases that I've seen, we will go to other animal shelters when we have space available, and we will bring back dogs. We never have a shortage of cats, but as far as dogs go, if we have space, we'll go to other shelters. And several years ago, we went to a shelter in Dade County and brought back a little dog that, honestly, when I first walked past her cage, I thought she was dead in there. She just laid there. She was matted. I mean, it took 3 hours for our technicians to shave all her fur off. She was a sweet little dog. We ended up naming her Peekaboo. Fortunately for her, our medical director ended up adopting her because she just fell in love with her. and she had her for probably about 8 years, and she recently passed away. But that was a dog that, honestly, seeing her in that condition, and that was a condition that didn't happen overnight, and that didn't happen while she was at the shelter. That was pure neglect on her owner's part, and you know, that took months to happen, not just days.
The frustration I used to feel with people earlier in my career with this organization doesn't exist anymore. People make very difficult decisions every single day. They're faced with circumstances that I don't walk in their shoes. I'm not necessarily privy to, whether it be relationship issues, financial issues, housing issues. I don't think that I'm as judgmental as I used to be. We think that this or another shelter is a great place for these animals to end up, so they at least have an opportunity to find a forever home. It is sad, but these decisions, in most cases, they're not the cold, heartless decisions that we think people are making. They're usually extraordinarily emotional and difficult.
I know that it's kind of frowned upon people turning in their pets, but I actually appreciate the fact that they chose to come to the shelter rather than toss them on the streets or just give them to anybody, because here we can screen the people and make sure that they're going to good homes rather than just handing them off to anybody not knowing the conditions that they're leaving them in.
You know, it's the greatest feeling in the world when you see one of them going home. At the same time, if they don't get adopted, it can be depressing. I mean, it's very sad. But I look at my job is to educate the community on why it's so important to make sure your pets are spayed or neutered, and that if you're going to get a pet, the only place to go is an animal shelter. Millions of animals waiting in shelters all over this country, and they're not there because they wanted to go. They're there because of irresponsible people.
As an animal lover, it makes me feel very sad that there's so many animals, 6 to 8 million, that are homeless out there, and I'm just hoping that people don't abandon all these animals, and we can educate them all to continue to get all these right people in to adopt all these animals. And just the most rewarding part of this job for me is that when I come in here every week, I do see all the animals that I saw the previous week that they're pretty much all adopted. So I see we are getting the word out, and a lot of people are adopting through us.
Putting a stop to homeless animals in our country is not an easy solution, but I think that spaying and neutering is the primary remedy, at least the one that we actually have access to and can provide to people. I think that's ignorance is one of the biggest problems that we deal with in animal welfare, and people who just don't understand the importance of spaying and neutering their animals at an early age for health reasons and overpopulation reasons, they need to spay and neuter. I mean, they are the primary perpetrators of the homeless animal problem that we have in this country.
And when I receive the pets in receiving, people would be surprised that over 30% of the animals that we receive are purebred animals. That's also another reason to adopt, so you don't have to spend as much money purchasing an animal when there's a perfectly good animal here to adopt.
We provide low-cost spaying and neutering services for pets that have owners. We have a mobile spay-neuter unit, and we recently reduced the price for kittens to only $15 to get your kitten spayed or neutered. So if it's between the ages of 8 and 12 weeks, the cost is $15. Vaccinations are also available. But through our low-cost spay-neuter programs, we spayed or neutered more than 10,000 animals that had homes last year. So there's no excuse not to get your pet spayed or neutered. We get more than 400 phone calls a week just in the spay-neuter department alone for people looking for that service. So we know the need is out there, and we're trying to accommodate it the best that we can.